Lou DeLorca talking to you from my car in OLP 365. Okay? My neighbor there. Waving to him. I got everything that seems to be working. And I'm ready to start kind of moving in a direction with this. You know, I want to talk to you about what OLP 365 really is. I'm 65 years old, and I had a hard and fast upbringing, but nothing to pity. And I'm not sharing that with you so I can get some sympathy or pity. What I'm showing you is that everybody has a story. Everybody comes up with some kind of problem or some kind of trauma. Everybody has that. What makes you successful is how you deal with it. And I learned that early on. So what I'm trying to do is share this with the people who are 18 to 30 years old. Now, if you're 35, that's fine too. If you're 45, that's fine. But the market that I'm trying to get, the audience that I want to attract, is 18 to 30 years old. So roughly a decade. Because you graduated high school. Some of you are going to try to go to college. Some of you may join the military. And some of you are going to try to get a job. And then some of you are going to do nothing but play video games all day or fool around and then blame other people for why things aren't working out for you. In our country, I see a lot of young people. And I'm noticing that there's a pattern. And I think our government has stopped short, and they're trying to reconfigure what's going on here politically, because even the political landscape has changed. The baby boomers, those are the guys like me, 59 to 69, 70. We're dying off, and there's going to be a big wealth distribution. Huge. It's going to be in the market again. It's going to fluctuate. And people who don't understand the game are going to keep chasing the wheel. They're going to be on that wheel, seeming like they can never get ahead. That is by design. Okay, man? That is by design. I am telling you. Now, who am I that I can share this information with you? One reason. I lived it. Plain and simple. I lived it. I went all the routes. I started in construction. I was 17. I graduated high school, and I joined the military. But I got out when my time was done. Like, that wasn't it. Yeah, people that stay in there for life thinking they got something. They got a waste of time. I mean, I applaud their dedication to the security of the nation, but you're not going to get rich in there. They're using you for their purpose. You know, I always said, go out and chase your goals because someone's going to hire you to chase theirs. After I got out of the service, then I got a trade. I got into construction. And I got to tell you, that was the best thing I ever did. I got a trade. Someone told me when I got out, and I said, I want to go to college and, get a degree. I want to do this and that. They said, okay, good. But let me advise you, get a trade. Any trade. A mechanic, a construction worker, electrician. Get a trade. because then you'll always have a job to fall back on. You'll always be able to eat. You'll always be able to make it by. And I am so glad I took that advice. I worked my way through college with construction and some other odd jobs, but mainly construction. I paid for my AA degree, my BA degree, and my master's degree. No loans. I paid for everything. I didn't borrow any money. I paid for it. Construction did that for me. Now, it was rough. I had to pay rent. I had to buy food. I had a budget. I had to do all that. But each year got progressively better. And I became more masterful. So, if it wasn't for the trades, I wouldn't be able to talk to you the way I am. I eventually got my general contracting license, and that sent me into a new orbit. A lot of money. Very good trade. I'd highly recommend it. I have 2 sons, and when they were in high school, I told them not to go to college. I told them to get a trade. And I'm a teacher. And they're like, I don't get it, Dad. All the teachers say go to college. I said, that game is over. That game doesn't work anymore. You can go to college now, and they'll give you a loan, and you'll start your life owing $150,000. You won't pay that off until you're 60 years old. That's what's happened. And frankly, it isn't worth it. Nothing in college is going to train you to do what you need to do. Look at these people who got into the computer science field. They're being laid off left and right. Not even Google wants to hire them. They're farming everything out to India and Philippines because they have people there who will do it for much cheaper. So they're getting laid off. Now, AI is coming into the game. And that's going to change the way things are done. A lot of people will lose their jobs behind that eventually. But not construction workers. AI can't hammer nails. AI can't put up houses. So I recommend you get a trade. Now, some people go to the military and, they think that they're going to learn a trade there. Some do, maybe the mechanics or something, but a lot of them don't. Now, if you go into the military and you work on AI type stuff and you work on missile systems and things like that, that could work for you. But the other ones aren't going to work. You come out of the Marine Corps, more than likely you're going to get recruited to become a policeman. Or if you're out of the Navy, they're going to recruit you to become a fireman. You have to chart your own course. So, who am I to share this with you? I have charted my own course. I worked my way through college, paid it off, didn't know anything. I have purchased houses and made money on the way out. I have built houses, made money, and now I'm getting ready to retire as a teacher. And I get a retirement. That's money in the bank. But I planned all this. I knew that was going to happen. So when I taught school, I always had businesses on the side. I always made money. I'm still doing that now. Eventually, I'm going to start a coaching program out of this program here, the OLP 365, and that's how I am able to tell you why this works, because I lived it. I'm doing it. You got all these guys out there, Cardone, that boxer, the brothers, I forget their name, always in trouble, from England, getting in trouble. And other people, you got these YouTube gurus telling you, give me money, buy this, this is how you do it, this is what you do. That might be one way, all right, and then you take your chances. The Tate brothers, those guys. Yeah, I'm not mad at them. They figured out a way to get money. Well, it'll work for you too. You just want to do it without all the problems that they have. So I developed the Optimum Life Path program 365 based on the paths that I walked. All of us are going to walk these paths, and all they are components of your life: financial, goal setting, health, happiness, spirituality, personal development, all self-image, and there's 12 of them. And everything you do is going to fit one of those paths. You're going to walk on a financial path. If you get a job, you're on the path. If you work out, you're on the health path. If you're trying to start a business, you're on the personal development path. If you want to improve yourself and lose weight, you're on the health path and the personal development path. So you're always going to be on these paths. Everything in life is going to be on one of these paths. Sometimes you're going to walk a lot of paths at the same time. So from my years of experience, I put these down in a book, and I've worked these formulas. I created formulas and systems, and they work. And they work. That's all I'm saying. They work. And if you apply them, they'll work for you too. Now, it's not a magic formula. I'm not telling you do this and your life will change tonight. Not going to happen. Everything is habit forming. Everything. And you have to form these habits, and you have to dedicate yourself to these habits. You have to be consistent. And that's in anything. Okay, so they're guide words you have to live by. A lot of people today, they're lost because they have no guides, no guide words. They're watching YouTube and this guy's doing this, so they try that. It doesn't work. Then they catch on to this guy. He's doing it. It doesn't work. Then you want to be a gamer. Oh yeah, you can make hundreds of thousands of dollars. It doesn't work. And meanwhile, time is being wasted or being spent, and you're not showing anything for it. The 12 paths, everybody walks them. Everybody. Everybody does. All successful people, I guarantee you can categorize their life in many, many paths. So it can work for you. Our logo is a compass. And I chose the compass specifically because it's an amazing tool. And we don't use it anymore. Let me remind you, back in 1800s, they used to have ships. You know, Christopher Columbus, Cortez, Drake. They came from different countries and they had ships. And they weren't called sea captains. They were called pilots. They navigated by the stars and with a compass. And look what they found. Look what they discovered. Well, the principles are the same. The same principles. A direction, a tool, guidance. Those are the same principles. But the game has changed. But the principles are the same. And if the principles are the same, man, you can win at the game. And it's very obvious. It's called a game of life. It's a game. It's life. It's a game. Like any other game. You're going to have your turn up. You're going to hit a home run. Sometimes you're going to strike out. Well, then next season comes. Sometimes you're going to hit a home run, and then you're going to strike out. Then the next season comes. Sometimes you're going to hit more home runs and less strikeouts. But if you're consistent with that, you're going to learn. You're going to see where you need to improve. You're going to know what direction to curve. Okay? So a lot of those things are going to work for you. And that's why I put this in a book. I've developed these over the years. I remember when I first started, I only had it down to 4 paths. And then I turned it into 8 paths. And now it's 12 paths. And it's really interesting because there's 12 months in a year. So there's 12 paths. If you want, you can work 1 path a month. Eventually, I'm going to put these in a program where you can have all the paths in front of you, but you're going to walk them at the same time. And I started this series, this channel, the OLP 365 channel, with 4 main paths: personal development, goal setting, financial path, and the health path. Those are the first 4. And we're going to talk about those paths as we move along. But those are the first 4 paths you want to start on. That's why if you look at the channel, most of the videos are on those 4 paths. And we're going to talk about those because those are the core paths. Think of them as the main roads. Those 4 main roads. If you're healthy, you can get after it. If you have goals, that's your direction, that's your compass. You know where you're going. Finances. We're in a capitalist society. Everything in America is about money. Everything. Only they call it consumerism, but it's still capitalism. You make money, you spend money. They take your taxes. You buy things. It's all about money. It's a system. And if you don't understand the system, you're going to lose financially. But if you understand the principles of the system, you can win. You can gain. And that's the capitalist system. It's designed for you to gain. That's why we have something called capital gains tax. Don't be afraid of paying those. When you have capital gains, that means you gained. You came out ahead. You have to pay taxes on that. You made a lot of money, pal. Cut Uncle Sam in. So don't fret over, I got to pay taxes. Yeah, everybody pays taxes. That's for the roads, the police, the schools. That's automatic. But when you're paying a capital gains, you're doing well for yourself. That's a tax I gladly pay. Capital gains tax, because you gained. And the capitalist system is designed for you to gain. But if you don't know how to work it, how to play in it, you're not going to gain anything. You're always going to be behind. That's when you start living paycheck to paycheck. I don't like that. Never have. I have a financial formula that I created, and that's in the financial path. And we'll talk about that as we walk further down that particular path. And it's very simple. Very simple. You can have the life you want. All you have to do is calculate what kind of life you want and how much it's going to cost. So if you want to wear certain clothes, how much will that cost you this year? If you have kids and you want to take them on vacation or pay for summer camp, how much will that cost this year? If your wife wants a new car, how much will that cost? So at the end of the year, you'll come up with a number and you'll say, okay, this is the life I want this year. It's going to cost me, about $85,000. Okay. Well, if your job is paying you $50,000 to $60,000, all you have to do is get a part-time job paying another $30,000, and you're there. Very simple. And you're there. We're doing that now. You have all these content creators. They're spending all their time creating content, trying to supplement their income or become full-time, I think they're called YouTubers, making money. Nothing wrong with that. But I would do that like what I'm doing. I have a job. I get 6 figures. Now I'm doing this. This is going to help me augment. And I have no doubt this is going to bring another 6 to 7 figures in a couple of years. I have big plans. I've written a few books. I'm going to sell those. I'm going to start a coaching service. I got a website being developed. Okay? So I'm moving. I'm gaining. Just because I'm retiring, I'm not playing golf or tennis all day. I got to go. I got things to do. I got to gain. I'm after it. So, this video is giving you an idea of who we're trying to work with. Okay? You have to create your own path. And that's why it's called Optimum Life Path. Don't follow the trends. Don't follow what they're telling you to do. If you don't see any money in it, don't get on it. Don't do it. No, it's not working for me. And don't buy what they're selling. They're telling you, Go to college, you'll get a good job. No, you won't. You can't even get a job at McDonald's with a degree now. How silly and foolish is that? I feel sorry for these people I talk to. They have degrees, they went to college, they can't get a job, and yet they got to pay back the loan and they can't afford it, so they have to move back in with their parents. It's crazy. It's like, why would you even want to attempt that? Well, because that's what they've been selling for years. They even sold it to me. When I was going to school, they wanted to give you loans, and I went, nah, I don't like this. I got to pay this back. What if I don't get a job that makes that kind of money? I ended up getting a doctorate from USC. Now, that I took out a loan for. That's the worst investment that I made. The worst. And people say, yeah, but you have a doctorate. That means nothing. That means nothing. I don't get more money. I don't get a free parking space at Walmart. I don't get free gasoline. I get nothing. But I had to pay it back. The guys that I went to school with, a lot of them took out second mortgages on their house. It was like $130,000. Some of them got divorced behind it because they couldn't pay it. So I used a different route. I paid it back, but I used a different method. Wasn't the bank, wasn't theirs. And we'll talk about that as we get further down the line. But I paid them off. And I used my mortgage to do it. Another strategy, financial strategy. I never worried about credit. And now I have, I don't know, a 750 credit score. I have $250,000 in credit. I don't even use it. And I didn't follow their pay your bills on time and for stay under 30% spending. I didn't do any of that. I don't play that. I don't have time for that. And here they are giving me cards. I still get them. Would you like to have a credit card? No, I have too many. I don't want any more. I don't even use it. I try to pay everything cash. I'm getting ready to retire. And so I'm making moves to facilitate that. And I'm going to make close to, I don't know, $750,000. And then I'll buy another house. And that's an investment. I can make more money with real estate doing what I do than Wall Street pays you. And I don't flip houses. Yeah, I don't buy and sell. I don't do any of that. We'll talk more down the financial path when we get into that. That's an advanced strategy you're not ready for yet. But those of you who are 18 to 30, you're in the game. You're the people that this will help if you follow it. If you set up your life this way, you will be successful financially, personally, spiritually. And it's a magnificent life. I have no complaints. As I started the video, I came up hard and fast. I didn't have loving parents. I didn't have a solid home background. I didn't have any of that. I lived with aunts. I lived in foster care. When I joined the military, that wasn't any better. I was 17 years old, living in a barracks with a bunch of guys. Yeah. But I didn't let that define me. I always looked ahead and said, I want to do this, I want to do that. I would be a rich man if I told you how many people tell me, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, they won't let you. Watch me. And that's all I've been doing. It's been going on and on and on. That's it. And it's not stopping. And here's the beauty, man. As you get to another level, the game of life gets bigger. As you get to another level, you're playing with bigger money. Now, I didn't start out at 18 playing with $500,000. Okay? It was each level. Now I'm playing with $500,000. And I can play in the big game. Make big money. It's easy. But it wasn't easy when I first started. So, don't kid yourself. When you're 18 to 20, that is not when you're going to have this kind of authority, this kind of power, this kind of career yet. You have to put your time in. You have to. There are no get-rich-quick schemes. Well, there are, but there are no get-quick-rich methods. The principles are the same, but you have to put the time in. You have to put the effort. If you're not willing to do that, you're just throwing your money away when you buy these courses and programs. You know, a lot of you guys are listening to Andrew Tate and some other people. I think they call them red pill. I don't take any pill, right? Women, they're beautiful, but they're not going to run around with losers. You can't get mad at them when they leave you because you're not amounting to anything. That's anyone. If I were a girl, I'd do it too. Yeah, women want it's ingrained. It's nature. They need to nest. They want security. So they're going to be hypergamous. They're going to go with someone who can give them that. Well, you could be that guy. Instead of complaining that your girlfriend left you, build it up. Get after it. Now, girls are a dime a dozen. You'll meet another one. And she's going to run with you because you're offering something. If you have nothing to offer, why would they want to run with you? Think about it. Don't get mad at them. Do something about it. That's why we started the first 4 paths. Get your finances in order. Look at that video. You have to know your income, your expenses, your debt, your cash flow, and your savings. If you don't know that, you have no financial plan. You don't have a financial foundation. You're not going to improve. It's not going to happen for you. You got to know what those numbers are. Then you have to work them. Health. You got to work out. The body. The body fuels the soul. You have to be strong. The old maxim, only the strong survive. That is true. You got to be strong. I just went through a bout with prostate cancer. I was in chemotherapy and radiation therapy for 8 months or so. And I'm just now working my health back. I used to be able to do 50 push-ups. I can barely do 20 now. But I'm going to work myself back up to 50. I'm 65 years old. But I'm still going to work it. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. But I'm getting back there. I'm going to start running. I just had knee replacement. Now I'm working it up where I can start running again. Because health is important. If you're overweight, whether you want to hear it or not, you need to start a diet. Cut the calories, work out. If you want to put weight on, you need to increase your protein. That's part of what goes on. Now, if those of you don't want to work out, find a different channel. These are for guys who want to know what the formula is to be successful. That's why health was one of the first paths we put out there. And we're going to talk more about that as we walk down that path. Personal development was another path. That was the first path. You have to know what it is you're after and why. What do you want to go after? With the compass, there's too many directions. Pick one and then start walking that path. Start developing yourself in that path. That's why we put the first 4 out. Those are a good place. That's a good place to start. Take a direction on the health path. Head that way. Head the direction on the financial path. Head that way. Get in your personal development path. Go that way. Okay? Goal setting. That came up. Goal setting is a skill you must master. I've earned everything as a set of goals. When I applied to USC, in the doctoral program. I was not qualified, so I had to set goals to get qualified. Once I achieved those goals, I was qualified. Then I applied, I was accepted. But I wasn't. I didn't just walk up and say, here I am. I set goals. When I bought my first house, it was a goal. I was 27, 28 years old. And I worked many jobs saving money to buy a house. And I bought it, no money down. People laughed at me. I read books on how to buy a house, no money down. And when I told people I was going to do it, they said, you're crazy. People won't do that. Worked for me. Set it as a goal. My personal development, it was one of my development skills that I wanted. I set it to a goal. I developed it. I bought it. I bought my second home. Owner finance. The gentleman loaned me the money who was selling the house to buy his house. And I bought it. I had to come up with, $20,000 to let them know I was serious. I think I was 30 when I bought that house. So I sold my boat, my Harley Davidson, and my Corvette. Came up with $30,000, showed him, gave it to him, and he goes, okay, you're serious about playing. Yes. And my life has continued that way. When I said my doctorate was the worst investment I made, I earned the money back. Don't get me wrong. I turned my dissertation into a book, and I sold that book. And I made, twice as much as what the program cost. And I didn't take out a second mortgage. I used that, and I leveraged it, and I made my money back 2 or 3 times over. Because I know how to walk on the 12 paths. So those 4 paths, gentlemen, is where you want to start. You're going to encounter adversity. That's just the way life is set up. So, you don't want a pity party and say, oh, this never works out for me, or no one understands me. You're listening to too many people. Pick a path, pick a direction, go. My son just finished his construction journeyman with the Teamsters. Took him 2 years. He stayed on that path. My other son got his flooring license. He stayed on that path. He worked with a flooring contractor for 2 years. So they have goals. They had personal development. They had consistency. And now they have skills that they can make money with. Now, with that little bit of money and their time and a goal and a path, they can get walking again. And they'll be there for a year or two. They'll come up, and then they pick another path. Same thing. Right now, most of you young guys, you have more time than money. But that is not a bad thing. Turn your money or your time and trade it in for money. If you don't have any money to invest right now, invest time. Yeah, go get a job at Home Depot. You give them time, they give you money. With that money, you invest it. Or with that money, you invest in your own personal development. Take a real estate course. Or go to the Teamsters or another, the electricians. Join the union and go on their apprentice program. And then work for them when you get out. I think they're paying like $62 an hour. That'll take you 3 or 4 years, but now you have a job, you're 27, now you're in line to buy a house. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes. But you got to have a plan. You got to understand it. That's why I put the first 4 paths out there. Personal development, financial planning, goal setting, and health. Get those 4 going. This is a new year. We're still in January. Okay? Get those up and running. Get those working for you. Start it. Don't let anyone talk you out of it. In 3 months, you'll see the difference. And once you got those working, Now you're ready to walk 2 other paths, and those will get easier. By the end of the year, you'll know how to navigate all 12 paths using your compass. And each year, you will see your life will improve 100%. Cardone, he likes to use that term 10x. This will be 100x. I call it exponential growth. Exponential. That's an algebraic term. That's like, would you rather have $25 or $25 to the second power? What that means is, would you rather have $25 or would you rather have to like to know how to make 25 times 25? That's exponential growth. That's a mindset. You want to apply that to everything you do. I'm using this platform, YouTube, and the internet, and a website to create exponential growth. This is a world wide web. Okay? I'm not going after 100 people. I'm going after 1 million. How am I going to do it? I have no idea, but I'm going to set it as a goal. And then I'm going to set my personal development goals. And one of them is to learn how to use this YouTube, how to internet, how to do the digital marketing, how to create digital products. I got to learn all that. I don't know how to do all that. But because I know that all of those are on one of the paths, I know how to work the principles of the path. So life is about principles. You have to learn how to apply those principles. The game has changed, but the principles are the same. So if you're willing to walk on the path, join us. If you're not, scroll on. Go find a different channel. I'm not coddling anybody here. Okay? I was a successful, winning football coach for many years when I taught high school. And I know how to do it. And I didn't win by coddling kids. As a matter of fact, I stopped coaching football because parents in schools thought that, we were working too hard and that's too rough. Then I'm out. Football is a smash sport. It's a ground acquisition sport. You're banging, pounding, fighting. If you don't teach kids how to do that, they're not going to learn on their own. And if you say, okay, well, this is kind of hard, so don't tackle them, then you lose. You lose. So if you're not willing to jump into the game of life and get after it, change the channel. There's other channels out there that will tell you different ways to do it. I'm telling you what I have done. And I didn't do it the way they were telling me. I did it a different way. Elvis Presley had a song, My Way. And that's what I did. I did it my way. And a lot of people don't understand that way, so they're not going to support you. They're going to tell you you're doing it wrong. We have a path on relationship building. And part of your relationship building skills will be cutting out people who don't support you. It could be family members that tell you, don't do that, that's ridiculous, that's stupid, don't listen to him. And if you do that, you're done. But if you go, no, this works for me. So I've cut out a lot of people. A lot of people that I went to USC with. Years later, they tell me, you know what? I should have listened to you. That was the worst investment I made. I'm still paying for it. I go, I paid mine off. Yeah, I paid it off years ago. And I made my money back. They didn't get that from me. I didn't buy that. I knew something was up. And I said, nope, not happening. And now, I remember when I first started teaching, I was about 27, 28 years old. I had 2 successful businesses that paid me more than teaching. And I remember some of the students saying, is that your Corvette? Yes. What are you doing being a teacher? I said, I'm setting up a retirement. I said, in 20 years, I'm going to need a retirement system. And the retirement system for the teachers is one of the best in California. You knock out so many years, and then they pay you when you retire for the rest of your life. Well, that's money in the bank. I get a check every month no matter what I do. That was an investment back then. But don't forget, I also got paid a paycheck at the same time. So I was getting paid as I was building my retirement. And now they've come together. And I made money along the way. And I had written some books that I sold to the school system. So I made more money. And then I started a couple more businesses. Then I started my construction business using the money from the teaching to pay for it. And then I got into that field. So it just goes round and round and round and round. And you can do it. And how do I know it? Because I have done it. I'm not telling you guys what to do. I'm doing it. I'm still doing it. I will continue to do it. This has worked. Now I'm just sharing it. That's it. And if you're serious about doing it, I can help you. Nothing magical, nothing special. It's just a system. A mindset. A path. A direction. Understanding time, value of money. You don't have any money right now? You have time. Trade your time for money. Now you have money. Well, when I got into teaching, I left my businesses and I got into teaching. I traded my time for money. But as I was going along, I invested in myself to make more money. And now all these investments have come full circle. But I also lived a good life in the process. Yeah, I didn't sit alone. I've been all over the world. I've had boats, houses, motorcycles, cars. I had a good life. Still living a good life. So it doesn't stop. It's just if you understand the system, you know how to work it, you know how to walk on the paths, all these principles are on the paths. Each path has a certain principle. Remember what I said, the game has changed, but the principles remain the same. You can go to a different country and apply these principles, and you'll be very successful there. And if you understand the principles of time, phases, and levels, you're going to be very successful on your way up. I know some lawyers, airline pilots, who ask me, how do you do this? You know, I've been making more money than you, and I don't have, I go, it's the principles. I said, you're still paying your loan back for your law school. That's ridiculous. He goes, yeah. I said, yeah, you're still paying off your loan from 20 years ago. That's a bad investment. So when you get on the financial path, you'll start to learn those principles and say, okay, let me apply them to my life. So that's all I've done. So again, watch this video if you want to try a different path, if you want to do something different. And this is the way we're going to proceed down these paths, hard and fast. Okay? I'm not coddling you. I'm going to tell you what needs to get done. You do it. If you don't do it, get off the path. Get out of the way. You're in somebody's way. Get out of the way. Go find an easier path if that's your game. I'm talking about being successful in this life, using the capitalist system in this country to be successful. Being healthy. Okay? I battled cancer at 65 years old. I'm in remission right now, but I'm going to be fighting it the rest of my life, and I'm going to win. I'm going to sign off now because I just drove up to work. But I want to tell you, I have to look out for the medical system. They're trying to make me take drugs and buy things, medicines and stuff I don't need, surgical procedures I don't need. I'm not allowing that. Okay? I'm going to win. I'm winning this battle with cancer. And those of you who have cancer, I can help you do it. I'm not a doctor, but I have principles. Life works in principles. Okay? This is Lou DeLorca, OLP 365, Optimum Life Path, coming to you. I got some books coming out. I got a website coming out. Stay posted. Pass this on to your friends. If you're 18 to 30, pass it on. This is going to help you because the game has changed. Real estate's out of control, but they're going to make it where you can buy it. They're just going to change the rules a little bit. But I can show you how to buy it, come up fast. We can beat it, all right? Looking at you, talking to you. Remember, Optimum Life Path. 12 paths, 365 days to a better life. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.